Homelessness is a stark reality in America. It's a visible and often jarring reminder of the inequalities that exist within our society. As we walk through our cities, we see individuals who have been left behind, struggling to survive in a world that seems to have forgotten them. The sight of a person huddled in a doorway or sleeping on a park bench is a poignant symbol of the broader systemic issues that contribute to this crisis. It's a complex issue, one with many faces and even more contributing factors. Economic instability, lack of affordable housing, mental health issues, and substance abuse are just a few of the elements that can lead to homelessness. Each person we see on the streets has a unique story, a series of events that have led them to this point. Understanding these stories is crucial if we are to address the root causes of homelessness. We see it on the streets of our bustling cities, in the shadows of towering skyscrapers. These urban landscapes, symbols of progress and prosperity, stand in stark contrast to the lives of those who find themselves without a home. The juxtaposition of wealth and poverty is a daily reminder of the disparities that exist in our society. It's a crisis that touches every corner of our nation, from the urban centers to rural communities. In rural areas, the face of homelessness might be less visible, but it is no less real. People living in cars, in makeshift shelters, or doubling up with friends and family are all part of this hidden crisis. The lack of resources and support in these areas can make the situation even more dire. The face of homelessness is varied. It spans all ages, races, and backgrounds. It includes individuals who have been homeless for years and those who have recently fallen on hard times. The diversity of experiences and backgrounds among the homeless population is a testament to the fact that homelessness can affect anyone. It's the single mother, laid off from her job, struggling to provide for her children. She faces the impossible choice between paying for rent or buying food. Her story is one of resilience and determination, but also of the systemic failures that have left her without a safety net. It's the veteran, grappling with unseen wounds, unable to find his footing in civilian life. After serving their country, many veterans find themselves without the support they need to transition back to civilian life. Their struggles with mental health, physical injuries, and finding employment can lead to homelessness. And it's the young person, aging out of the foster care system, with nowhere to turn. Without a stable family or support system, these young adults often find themselves on the streets, vulnerable and alone. Their dreams and potential are at risk of being lost to the harsh realities of life without a home. These are not just statistics. They are real people with real stories. Each face we see represents a life filled with hopes, dreams, and aspirations. They are individuals who have faced unimaginable hardships and continue to fight for a better future. They are individuals with stories, with hopes, and with dreams. They are more than their current circumstances. They have talents, skills, and potential that can contribute to our society if given the chance. Their stories remind us of the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of compassion and support. They are our neighbors, and their struggles are a reflection of the challenges facing our society as a whole. The issue of homelessness is not just about those who are without a home. It is about the societal structures that allow such disparities to exist. It calls for a collective effort to create a more just and equitable society. We cannot and must not turn away. Ignoring the problem will not make it go away. We must confront it head-on, with empathy and action. Each of us has a role to play in addressing homelessness, whether through advocacy, support, or simply by acknowledging the humanity of those affected. This is a call to action, a plea for understanding, and a reminder that we are all connected. By working together, we can create a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Let us extend our hands and our hearts to those in need, and build a future where homelessness is a thing of the past. Certain cities, often bustling hubs of economic activity, have become hotspots for homelessness. The stark contrast between the wealth and poverty in these urban centers is a growing concern. As the cost of living continues to rise, more and more people find themselves unable to afford basic necessities, let alone housing. This has led to an increase in the number of individuals and families living on the streets, in tents, and in makeshift shelters. Places like New York City, Los Angeles, and Phoenix, Arizona, each grapple with unique challenges that exacerbate this crisis. In New York City, the high cost of rent and limited affordable housing options have left many without a place to call home. Los Angeles, with its sprawling urban landscape, faces a similar issue, compounded by a lack of mental health services and support for those in need. Phoenix, on the other hand, deals with extreme weather conditions that make life on the streets even more dangerous. These cities, while vibrant and full of opportunity for some, cast long shadows for those struggling to survive. The bustling streets and towering buildings often overshadow the plight of the homeless, who are forced to navigate a world that seems to have forgotten them. The daily struggle for food, shelter, and safety is a harsh reality for many, and the lack of resources and support only adds to their burden. Manhattan, with its soaring skyscrapers and image of affluence, also holds the stark reality of extreme wealth disparity. The glittering skyline is a stark contrast to the lives of those who sleep on the streets below. The wealth gap in this city is one of the widest in the country, and the lack of affordable housing options only exacerbates the problem. Many of the homeless in Manhattan are working individuals who simply cannot afford the high cost of living. The streets of Brooklyn, undergoing rapid gentrification, see long-time residents displaced and priced out of their homes. As new developments spring up and property values rise, many families who have lived in these neighborhoods for generations are forced to leave. The influx of wealthier residents has driven up the cost of living, making it nearly impossible for low-income families to stay. This has led to an increase in homelessness, as people are left with nowhere else to go. The Bronx, often overlooked, faces its own affordable housing crisis, leaving many families teetering on the brink. The lack of affordable housing options and the rising cost of rent have made it difficult for many to keep a roof over their heads. Families are often forced to choose between paying for housing and other necessities, such as food and healthcare. This has led to an increase in the number of people living in shelters or on the streets. On the West Coast, Los Angeles confronts its own struggles. The city is home to one of the largest homeless populations in the country, and the problem continues to grow. The lack of affordable housing, coupled with a shortage of mental health services and support, has left many without a place to call home. The city's sprawling urban landscape makes it difficult to provide adequate services and support to those in need. Skid Row, a notorious area in downtown LA, stands as a stark reminder of the city's ongoing battle with homelessness. The area is home to thousands of homeless individuals, many of whom struggle with mental health issues and substance abuse. The lack of resources and support in this area has made it a hotspot for crime and violence, further complicating efforts to address the problem. Despite numerous efforts to improve conditions, Skid Row remains a symbol of the city's struggle with homelessness. Venice Beach, known for its bohemian spirit, grapples with the growing pains of urban inequality. The area has long been a haven for artists and free spirits, but the rising cost of living has made it difficult for many to stay. The influx of wealthier residents has driven up property values, leading to an increase in homelessness. The contrast between the area's vibrant culture and the plight of the homeless is a stark reminder of the growing inequality in our cities. Phoenix, facing a different set of circumstances, contends with extreme heat and a lack of adequate shelter space, making life on the streets even more perilous. The city's harsh climate can be deadly for those without shelter, and the lack of resources and support only adds to the problem. Many of the homeless in Phoenix are left to fend for themselves, with little hope of finding a way out of their situation. Each city, with its unique challenges, highlights the systemic issues that contribute to this nationwide crisis. The lack of affordable housing, inadequate mental health services, and rising cost of living are just a few of the factors that have led to an increase in homelessness. Addressing these issues will require a concerted effort from policymakers, community leaders, and citizens alike. Only by working together can we hope to find a solution to this growing problem. At the heart of the homelessness crisis lies a fundamental truth: the ever-widening gap between the rich and the poor. This gap is not just a statistic. It is a lived reality for millions of people who find themselves on the losing end of economic shifts. The disparity is stark and growing, with the wealthy accumulating more resources while the poor struggle to make ends meet. This inequality manifests in various ways, from the visible presence of homeless encampments in urban areas to the invisible struggles of families living paycheck to paycheck. Economic shifts, globalization, and the decline of well-paying blue-collar jobs have left many struggling to keep up. The closure of factories and the outsourcing of jobs have decimated communities that once thrived on manufacturing and industry. These economic changes have not only led to job losses, but have also eroded the social fabric of these communities, leaving behind a trail of despair and hopelessness. People who once had stable, well-paying jobs now find themselves in precarious employment situations, often with little to no job security. The rising cost of living, particularly the soaring prices of housing in major metropolitan areas, has become an insurmountable barrier for low-income individuals and families. Rent prices have skyrocketed, making it nearly impossible for those earning minimum wage or living on fixed incomes to afford a place to live. The lack of affordable housing options forces many into overcrowded and substandard living conditions, exacerbating the stress and instability they already face. This housing crisis is not just a problem for the poor, it affects the entire community, leading to increased social tensions and a sense of injustice. The concept of affordable housing, once a cornerstone of the American dream, is slipping further and further out of reach. As property values soar and gentrification takes hold, long-time residents are often displaced, forced to move away from their communities and support networks. This displacement not only disrupts lives, but also erodes the cultural and social fabric of neighborhoods. The dream of owning a home, or even just having a stable place to live, is becoming increasingly unattainable for many, turning what was once a symbol of stability and success into a source of anxiety and uncertainty. The minimum wage, despite some incremental increases, has not kept pace with inflation, leaving millions trapped in a cycle of poverty. Workers in low-wage jobs often find themselves working long hours, sometimes at multiple jobs, just to cover basic expenses. This relentless grind takes a toll on their physical and mental health, leaving them exhausted and with little time or energy to pursue opportunities for advancement. The struggle to make ends meet on a minimum wage salary is a daily reality for many, highlighting the urgent need for a living wage that reflects the true cost of living. They work long hours, often juggling multiple jobs, yet still cannot afford the basic necessities of life, including a safe and stable place to live. The constant stress of financial insecurity affects every aspect of their lives, from their health to their relationships. Many are forced to make impossible choices between paying rent, buying food, or seeking medical care. This precarious existence is not just a personal struggle. It is a societal issue that reflects the broader failures of our economic system to provide for all its members. This economic inequality, coupled with a lack of affordable housing options, creates a perfect storm, pushing vulnerable populations towards homelessness. The lack of a safety net means that any financial setback, such as a medical emergency or job loss, can quickly lead to eviction and homelessness. Once on the streets, individuals face numerous challenges, from finding shelter and food to staying safe. The cycle of homelessness is difficult to break, and without systemic changes, it will continue to affect more and more people. It's a vicious cycle that demands our attention and calls for systemic change. Addressing this issue requires a multifaceted approach, including policy changes to increase the minimum wage, expand affordable housing, and provide better social services. It also requires a shift in societal attitudes towards poverty and homelessness, recognizing that these are not individual failings but systemic issues that require collective action. By working together, we can create a more just and equitable society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. While economic hardship is a major driver of homelessness, it's not the only factor. Mental health issues and substance abuse often play a significant role, creating a complex web of challenges for individuals struggling to find their way back from the brink. Many individuals experiencing homelessness grapple with untreated mental health conditions, such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, and bipolar disorder. These conditions, often exacerbated by the trauma of living on the streets, can make it incredibly difficult to maintain employment, access resources, or seek help. Substance abuse, often used as a coping mechanism for the harsh realities of homelessness, further complicates the situation. Addiction creates a vicious cycle, making it even harder to address underlying mental health issues, secure stable housing, and rebuild their lives. It's crucial to remember that these individuals are not defined by their struggles. They deserve compassion, understanding, and access to quality mental health and addiction treatment services, which are essential for breaking the cycle of homelessness.